now for the deep dive of the techniques that Bill used in Majestic Wilderness. Hey everyone, here's a bit of behind-the-scenes insight for you. I'm Lori Anderson, CEO of Alexander Art. I began working with Bill Alexander nearly 40 years ago, and we continue to carry on his legacy today. On our channel, you've probably noticed some comments like, "Bill, less talk and more painting." Let me share the inside scoop on why Bill takes those talking breaks. So picture this. Bill starts his show carefully applying the magic white. But here's the catch. The magic white needs time to soak into the canvas. He gives it a moment to settle in, and that's when he turns to you. But here's the thing. Bill doesn't just ramble on. He times those talks just right. Why? So that the magic white has time to set up before he shares his next step. But let's keep it real. We can't always showcase that first step. So Bill starts the show with the magic white already on the canvas most of the time. Because Bill's on a tight schedule, he's got less than 29 minutes to complete the entire painting. That's right, a whole painting. See, he wants to teach you more than just how to apply the magic white. He's on a mission to teach you all that he knows. Bill has a treasure trove of wisdom to share. Things like why painting is a timeless endeavor, how art brings a touch of sophistication to the world, and where he discovers his creative inspiration. So next time you catch Bill taking a talking break, rewind a bit. You'll see it's all part of the artistic dance. I'd love to know your thoughts. So please let me know in the comments below. Are you team less talking and more painting, or do you enjoy what he has to share? No matter which side you are on, let's enjoy the beauty together and immerse ourselves in the timeless world of art with Bill Alexander. In the realm of oil painting, Bill Alexander's brilliance shone through in his deliberate choice not to overmix his paints. His artistic secret? Maintaining a marbled appearance. Bill understood that by letting colors dance independently on the canvas, he could create a mesmerizing and dynamic visual experience. For him, it wasn't about a single homogeneous hue, but rather the enchanting interplay of vibrant colors. In this intentional approach, Bill Alexander's artistry thrived, leaving a legacy defined by the magical kaleidoscopic charm that sets his work apart. Bill Alexander is changing things up in his mountain painting. Instead of his usual thin base layer, he's going for a bold move, using thick paint right from the start without scraping off the excess. Watch how he reloads his palette knife deliberately. It's a careful choice that affects how he adds highlights. This switch not only shows Bill's skill at adapting, but also brings out a dynamic mix of colors on the canvas. These mountains, created with this unconventional use of thick paint, reflects Bill's knack for trying out different techniques.
And here against the light, maybe we have a little hill here. Just imagine kind of a landscape, whatever I live there, I see it from my balcony. Now we will use a bit of white, but now I show you something else here. I will use white, the thick white, but next to it I have a thinner white, you see? A thinner white will stick on the thicker.
After adding a hint of softer white to his titanium white, Bill proceeds to highlight the mountain. He doesn't clean off his knife intentionally, aiming to incorporate some of the mountain base color into the mix. Notice that the paint doesn't go on as smoothly as when he uses a thinner mountain base. Let's watch to see what Bill does about this intriguing twist in his technique.
How you can do that? Again, take some thick white and a bit of thinner white and mix that together. See? Now, but a little touch thinner only, just a little touch thinner. It's still very thick, you see? It's still very thick. Then you can, maybe here I put in a bit of and let the knife dance along, go along with the mountain movements.
Bill skillfully blended a thinner, yet still notably thick, paint mixture. He strategically positioned his palette knife almost flat against the canvas, gently laying the paint on top, kind of like icing a cake. The deliberate angle ensures a controlled application, preventing unwanted mixing with the base color. In the forgiving realm of oil painting, where every stroke is a chance to refine and reshape, Bill's artistry shines as a testament to the limitless possibilities that unfold on the canvas.
Dark trees there. I use sap green, a touch of black, and sap green. See, that is again a bit of a thinner paint. The thickest paint is always the white. You always have to have that white very thick because every paint needs white, except when I keep it dark like this. But then I have some thinner paint here and there, and I can... this whole technique is based on a thinner paint sticks on a thicker paint. And if you sometimes fight like hell, you can get the lines on or you can get the trees on. That means you are either too thick or you are too thin and become sloppy.
This is a very important point that Bill is making. The titanium white will always be the thickest paint on Bill's palette. All of the other colors are just a touch thinner, especially the transparent colors. Notice that the green and the black mixing together is thinner than his titanium white.
See, you know, I want to create some happy trees standing there. See, isn't that nice?
A few things I'd like to point out here. First of all, Bill loaded the brush with a lot of paint, and he loaded it to a chiseled edge. He starts out with a very light touch, barely touching the canvas, which helped him to define the tops of the trees. Notice he also varied the size of the trees instead of making them all the same height. Each time Bill touches the canvas, he loses a little more green and picks up a little more light color that's already on the canvas. Notice the brush is no longer chiseled. He starts pressing harder to remove the paint from the brush. Do you see how different the strokes look without having a chiseled edge? It's more open and it's creating more flying branches, as Bill would say. At this point, Bill realizes he should have put the watercolor in before he added the trees. Normally he would remember to do this, because usually he's got just kind of one color in the sky. But this guy was different. He used multiple colors and ended on the orange. He didn't want orange in the water. As he puts the water in, he uses long horizontal strokes. He stays completely away from the trees because he doesn't want to pick up the green on his brush. Does Bill worry that he put the trees in before the water? Never. He knows that he can always make the trees taller. After all, in another year or two, they'd be that tall anyway.
Now we will create, take your knife and put some tree trunks in. See? Can you see how easy it is? There's more or less a scratcher. In that distance, you only want to make it standing up. And sometimes you let a couple lines come out there, you see? Let it come out there. That's good. Some little dry trees, they hang over, and that's what it is.
This is one of Bill's many brilliant moves. He uses his palette knife as a plow. He moves through the thick paint, pushing the paint upward, leaving bare canvas that gives the illusion of tree trunks. His palette knife is picking up paint that he can extend beyond the tree line to look like dead trees. Bill said that because the trees are in the distance, they just look like they're all standing straight. This is an important concept that he doesn't have much time to ever talk about. The The further away something is from the viewer, the more vertical and horizontal things look. Next time you see a distant row of trees, notice how straight they look, even when you know they're not.
See, now we will use some beautiful, like orange, sap, a bit of yellow, white, and I use all the colors I have here, and we will find a beautiful, and a little bit of a thinner white into that. That means, with other words, a thinner paint sticks on a thicker paint.
Because Bill just added the dark green tree color, he knows that he must thin the next layer in order to get it to stick. Just remember, thin paint sticks to thick paint. He carefully varies the pressure he applies with his palette knife to the canvas, sometimes a soft touch, and other times more pressure. This gives variety in the color, as sometimes the orange color mixes with the tree color, and other times it lays on top, giving the illusion of highlights. He has a way of making water look real. He uses a clean, dry blending brush, and he applies a very soft touch. Notice he holds the brush flat to the canvas and pulls straight down. He is aware that the brush is picking up paint, and so he turns the brush sideways to pull the individual tree reflections down because he doesn't want to pollute the water. Bill is careful not to press too hard because he doesn't want to smear the paint. The bristles are barely touching the canvas.
And you put a bit of a shoreline up there. See, with that light against the dark, that makes it a beautiful. See? Isn't it wonderful? Here, the same. Yeah, that's really wonderful. More. See, I just use a thinner paint now, like I said before. A little bit of orange in, little bit of color in, because then it has it gives it kind of a, isn't that beautiful? I think you will learn a lot today. Little lines standing up there. See, like this. Little water movements there. And now we will create the whole front again by using yellow, the orange colors here, and a bit of these colors. And now we create kind of a, grassland in front. Maybe a bit of green into that, a bit of a light. Yeah, that's perfect now. See? There, maybe here we have a whole patch of green, whole patch of yellow. Into the water here, make it so that it is. See, I just cut it down. I leave the paint. It's got to be darker in the water. See, then it is really water. There you are. See, and then you just you can if you want to harmonize it in like this. Give them a couple side strokes. Some shoreline there. You see, look like this. Because we come closer now, and then you can be more solid. You can really work in a little bit. This kind of a movement is nice. Forwards, backwards, this other little cove, and you see that? Oh, good. This in front of where there. Here, a little bit of a darker movement there. Isn't that wonderful how that painting grows and comes to you so easy? Now we will use the knife and maybe just kind of See, like old grout, old stubs. Maybe we make it a bit higher. A bit more white would be good.